Wahu, we design and manufacture electric vehicles, and we create jobs for gig economy workers.
Across Africa, millions of young people wake up each day ready to work, but without work to go to. As youth populations surge and jobs lag behind, the risks grow not just for individuals, but for entire communities. Wahu is rewriting that story, turning Ghana's unemployed youth into mobility entrepreneurs, empowering them to move people, goods, and destinies.
I had one particular rider who told me if Wahu wasn't here, his career options were galamsey, gambling, or Sakawa. Africa's population is going to be one of the largest. I think we're going to grow from about 1.4 billion people to around 2.9 billion people by 2050. So that means that all people on Earth essentially will be in Africa. And the question really is, why shouldn't we be designing and manufacturing our own cars? Or our own bikes or our own motorbikes? And the environmental impact of always having to import from somewhere else is going to just be exponentially increased if we don't start to build local capability. Wahu, we design and manufacture electric vehicles, and we create jobs for gig economy workers. And at the moment, we've created around 500 jobs for delivery riders in our communities, and they in turn are contributors driving impact and supporting thousands more people in their own communities. So in practice, Wahu does a number of things to advance sustainability. I think the first thing that's obvious is around environmental sustainability. So every Wahu bike is replacing a petrol motorcycle on the road. And that's reducing carbon emissions. That's also reducing just general fumes and creating more sustainable cities. And then I think the other thing for us was around how we produce the vehicle. So our factory runs 100% on solar. So we're making sure that even our value chain, we're embedding sustainable practices. And then our end of life of the vehicle, we practice circular economy practices, so making sure that anything can be reused, repurposed, at end of life. So I think there are a number of things that we're doing from product to production to disposal that is really pushing the sustainability agenda. When you're looking at Ghana and Africa in terms of transport, I think we have a number of big challenges that we need to solve. And then because we're using so many second-hand combustion engines, the vehicles are expensive, they're not safe, and the average Ghanaian generally can't afford reliable transport. And so I coin all of that conundrum as the connectivity gap. And that's really what Wahu is trying to solve by bridging the connectivity gap with sustainable, affordable, accessible electric vehicles. So if it takes Africa even 15 years to start manufacturing our own cars, it's a necessity. And this transition to electric vehicles is our next leapfrog. I think that African markets create the most resilient entrepreneurs because we don't have a choice.
Innovation is only as powerful as the hands that bring it to life. In Wahu's production facility, every frame welded and every bike assembled tells a story of Ghanaian craftsmanship. At Wahu, innovation begins with curiosity and courage.
We design our bikes ourselves from scratch. So pertaining to the design and then the materials and everything used, the way the bike is framed, the way the components are put on it, the materials that every component is made up of. It is made sure that it is suited to the African continent, Ghanaian roads, and in our weather and in our climate conditions, to make sure that when you're riding something on a bike or the part where you stay has too much rain or too much sun, it's not going to cause any breakages to the bike that you are riding.
The research and development team, made up of young, passionate engineers and designers, is reimagining what African mobility can be.
The R&D department in Wahu Mobility starts to bring in new ideas to help the user experience. And the batteries are the most essential component of our e-bike. So we perform discharge tests on the batteries as well to mimic when they are using the bike on the road, how the battery behaves, just to see an overview of how the battery works.
One of our biggest impacts is around transitioning gig workers from being probably the most disenfranchised people in the kind of e-commerce space to being mobility entrepreneurs. The second thing for us was around being able to actually extend credit so that the riders could actually pay for their vehicle bit by bit, and the vehicle is basically a job for them.
Before Wahu, I used to sell products online. I ran adverts on Google Ads. And so if you go to YouTube and maybe on your Android apps, you may see some adverts running on those places. Those were the things I was doing formally before I joined Wahu. Unfortunately, I found this even more lucrative than what I was doing formally. And so with the deliveries, I deliver anything that is deliverable. Food, clothes, shoes, anything that we can deliver, that my bike can pick. I pick it up and then I get it sorted to my clients.
Working in Wahu is very exciting because we are working on things that users love.
Every Wahu bike on the road, we're creating an opportunity for somebody to contribute and be respected.
From the first spark of an idea to the hum of production lines, Ghana's manufacturers are building the foundation of our nation's future. At DBG, we've already committed over 689 million Ghana cedis through our partner financial institutions to power this transformation, funding factories, innovation, and jobs that strengthen our economy. And we're only getting started. The future of Ghanaian manufacturing is bold, sustainable, and inclusive. And together, we are financing the change that will shape generations to come.